Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a really fun team in the Great League Remix Cup, Team DINOSAUR. This team features only dinosaur Pokemon. We have Meganium on the lead, Shadow Aerodactyl as the save switch, and Rock Throw Tyrantrum as the closer. After having some success using Dragon Tail Tyrantrum, I'm quite excited to try out the Rock Throw version to see how it performs. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Team DINOSAUR and Rock Throw Tyrantrum in action in the Great League Remix Cup. Hopping into the first match, picking up a Nightmare lead Meganium into Tropius, I'm going to immediately save switch into Shadow Aerodactyl, and my opponent responds with Vigoroth. This is not the best spot to be in. Those counters do massive damage, and even though the Body Slam is resisted, it is still going to do a ton of damage as well. Thankfully, I do reach a Rock Slide on very low health, and I'm able to grab a shield advantage. That is very nice, because Meganium can do absolutely nothing against the Tropius, so I really need Tyrantrum to be able to clutch here. Vigoroth is going to fire off a Body Slam. That's fine, Meganium has a nice amount of bulk, and then I should be able to reach a Frenzy Plant, which is easily going to be taking down the Vigoroth. And then from there, I just have to hope that Tyrantrum up a shield is going to be able to take down the Tropius. The bad news is that this is a Razor Leaf Tropius, which does make it a worse matchup. I bring in Tyrantrum, and they're staying in. Hopefully this means they are weak in the back, and I am going straight for the crunch, hoping to try and grab the last shield and or get the debuff. We get the shield, and we get the debuff. That is huge. We're able to get through a Rock Throw, so hopefully we're going to be able to farm down here. Tyrantrum farms down. What's in back? It is Mandibuzz, and we have a chance. Come on, Tyrantrum. Able to reach the Stone Edge. Is this going to be enough damage? Stone Edge, massive damage. We farm down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Meganium into Vigoroth. Definitely happy to catch the counter user on the lead, so I am going to be staying in here. Vigoroth goes for the Frenzy Plant catch. I'm able to hold on to my energy, and now I can fire off an Earthquake at the Registeel. Earthquake does get the shield. My backline really doesn't like to see Registeel, so honestly, I just need to stay in here with Meganium. I do have a very big energy lead, so I should be able to outpace them, and even if I go straight Earthquake, I should be able to land an Earthquake. I'm going for Earthquake number 2. This will do big damage if it lands, and they do commit that final shield. They're going to be able to get my final shield as well, but now there's nothing stopping Meganium from being able to land an Earthquake on that Registeel. Earthquake does not get same type attack bonus here, so it's not going to KO, but it is going to get them very low. Earthquake lands, simultaneous switch, Shadow Aerodactyl into Vigoroth. This is not a great spot to be the Shadow Aerodactyl. Body Slam is going to do quite a lot of damage, and they have a ton of energy stored up, so they're able to get to a second one as well. This is going to be taking me out after one more counter, and now back in comes Meganium. I really need to reach a Frenzy Plant. Can we survive this Body Slam? This is going to be very close. Body Slam gets me low. Meganium holds on and is able to reach that last second Frenzy Plant. That is going to be taking out the Vigoroth. And then, back in comes Registeel to farm me down. I bring in Tyrantrum, and they have Dusclops in the back. You love to see the spice. Dusclops is going to be forced to go for punches here, and Shadow Punch does not hit particularly hard, whereas we have some pretty nice fast move pressure with the Rock Throws, and we do have access to Crunch. I am going to be able to tank this next Shadow Punch, and then I'm firing off the Crunch. This should just about be taking out the tanky Dusclops. Crunch gets them low, able to farm down. Back in comes Registeel. We farm down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, picking up a rough lead Meganium into Frostlass. I save switch into Shadow Aerodactyl, and my opponent responds with Wigglytuff. It's very nice to bait out the Wigglytuff, so that way Tyrantrum does not have to see it in the endgame. I'm able to reach a Rock Slide, and I get shield advantage. That is quite nice. From here, my plan is to significantly overfarm with Meganium. I will need to commit a shield, but I want to leave with over 2 Frenzy Plants of stored energy, so that way I can throw 1 to take out the Wigglytuff, and I'll have a second to apply a lot of pressure onto the Frostlass. So I am going to overfarm quite a bit in this matchup, taking a lot of charm damage, but now we have a ton of energy. Going to be firing off the Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant does take them out. We have the second Frenzy Plant loaded, but they bring in their third. It's Pidgeot, and this is looking like Tyrantrum sweep time. In comes Tyrantrum. They bring in Frostlass, but Frostlass is not going to be able to get to 2 moves here. These Rock Throws are doing too much damage. I shield up the Avalanche. Tyrantrum farms down the Frostlass. Back in comes Pidgeot. Pidgeot trying to get to a move. They cannot. And that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Meganium into Gourgeist, and this is a massive core breaker. I'm going to save switch into Shadow Aerodactyl, and my opponent responds with Registeel. This is exactly why we have Earth Power, as Earth Power can be a surprise nuke. Aerodactyl charging up, but they respect it with a shield. That is very unfortunate. At this point, I'm just going to let it go. I would get outpaced to a second move, so I'm just going to no-shield the Aerodactyl, and then trust in Tyrantrum with shield advantage in the endgame. In comes Meganium, and we're going to look to farm up a bunch of energy. They do outpace us. They're going to reach the Focus Blast before I reach the Earthquake. I can tank it though. As I mentioned earlier, Meganium is very tanky. I'm going to farm up a ton of energy and then now go for the KO. Earthquake is going to be taking out Registeel from this range. It does, and then we're very close to a Frenzy Plant to do some chip damage onto the Gourgeist. Back in comes Gourgeist, and I'm going straight for the Frenzy Plant. This is resisted, but this should still do a nice chunk of damage onto the Gourgeist. I'm going to stay in and force them to throw. At this point, I'm putting full faith in Tyrantrum. Seed Bomb barely does not KO, and in comes Tyrantrum. I am going to commit the shield. At this point, I have to shield something. So I shield up the Seed Bomb, and in the back, they have Shadow Celio, and things are not looking good as they're doing super effective damage to us, and they are incredibly spammy with Powder Snow. At this point, I'm thinking my only win con is possibly getting a Crunch debuff. I go for the Crunch, we get the shield, but we don't get the debuff, and this Body Slam is going to just about take us out here. We're barely able to survive, we get Powder Snow down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Meganium into Magcargo. Terrible lead. I'm going to save switch into Shadow Aerodactyl. They're staying in, taking a bunch of damage, and then they bring in Vigoroth. And this was actually the first game that I played with the team, and I had forgotten to TM away Ancient Power from Flying Cup. We're able to land the Rock Slide, and that is big, as this should allow us to flip switch advantage. Body Slam, not enough to KO, and I'm able to farm down. In the back, they have Politoed. Politoed is going for a very aggressive farm down, but not before I'm able to reach a last second Rock Slide, and I'm able to grab a shield. This Politoed is loaded on energy, but at this point, I'm just going to fully sack the Meganium, because I'm pretty sure that Tyrantrum can close here. They go for the Blizzard, in comes Tyrantrum, and now the Rock Throw onslaught on Magcargo continues. I'm going to shield up their move, they go for the Overheat on the Dragon Rock type. We're able to farm down. Back in comes Politoed, but Politoed used all of its energy on the Blizzard. We are going for the Crunch. They know it's over. They let that through, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Meganium into Credilli. This is a very nice lead for Meganium, so I'm more than happy to stay in here. We're just able to outpace Credilli, so this is a really nice spot to be in. I'm going to fire off the Frenzy Plant just before they're able to reach the Stone Edge. They tank it, but that's going to do a ton of damage onto Credilli. Credilli fires back with the Stone Edge. Meganium tanks that. And now we can overfarm slightly again, and this Frenzy Plant is easily going to be taking them out. Frenzy Plant does get the shield. I go for the snipe with Aerodactyl, but they're able to reach a last second Stone Edge. I am going to shield it up. Stone Edge would do massive damage, and I'm able to farm down. What do they have in back? They have Galvantula. Rock throws tearing through Galvantula, and they're able to reach a move. If they're this weak to Rock in the back, then I'm feeling good about my chances. I bring in Tyrantrum, we farm down, and it's Magcargo in the back. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Hopping into the next match, leading Meganium into Shadow Granbull. These charms are doing a ton of damage on Meganium. They go for the catch on Noctowl, I hold on to my energy, and I bring in Shadow Aerodactyl. Shadow Aerodactyl should be able to shield once and farm down, and that way, I can leave very healthy and with a ton of energy as well. Aerodactyl, able to fully Rock Throw down, and if they bring back in the Granbull, which they do, I should be able to get my shield back. Rock Slide is going to get the shield. Granbull going for the charm down. Aerodactyl does get taken out. I bring in Meganium, but they do have a move, and I lose CMP. That's really unfortunate. I don't really want to take charms on Tyrantrum, so I am going to commit the last shield and fire back with the Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant takes them out, and in the back is Vigoroth, and this is not good at all. I'm able to catch the Body Slam onto Tyrantrum, which is resisted, but these counters are going to absolutely tear through Tyrantrum. They're going to be able to reach another Body Slam here. This is going to get me very low, and then they're going to be able to counter me down. Back in comes Meganium. I have to get to 2 Frenzy Plants, and I cannot. Vigoroth proving to be a bit too much to handle in the back, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, picking up a terrible lead Meganium into Alolan Marowak. I save switch into Shadow Aerodactyl, and my opponent responds with Vigoroth. We've seen this matchup play out a couple times. I can either force shields, or I can get switch advantage. Personally, I would much rather have switch advantage here, so I'm going for the Rock Slide, hoping for the no shield, but they do commit the shield. Vigoroth is going to be able to farm down, but those rock throws from Aerodactyl really add up. Now I can bring in Meganium and basically just use it to absorb all of Vigoroth's energy. Vigoroth is going to fire off Body Slam after Body Slam. This second one is going to get Meganium deep into the red, but I should still be able to farm down. The bulk of Meganium is fantastic. I'm expecting that Marowak, and if so, I'm going to try and get to the Earthquake. Meganium able to reach the Earthquake, and this will do big damage or grab the final shield. Earthquake gets the shield, in comes Tyrantrum, and they're going to fire off a Bone Club. I will shield this, it would be super effective. We shield up the Bone Club, and it's Dugong in the back. Can I get to the Stone Edge? Come on, Tyrantrum! We fall a turn short, and we're not able to get there, and I'm forced to give up the final shield. And this is where things get tricky. I need to try and leave with energy so I can take out the Marowak. I'm going for the Crunch here. Crunch, not enough to KO. Tyrantrum farms down, we're on very low HP. Back in comes Marowak. We're going for the Crunch. We are debuffed, but this is super effective. Crunch, not enough to KO. Tyrantrum able to farm down, and we win an incredible game. Hopping into the next match, letting Meganium into Aurorus. This is a terrible lead. I save switch into Shadow Aerodactyl. They're taking super effective damage, but we get extremely outpaced in this matchup. They're going to fire off a Weather Ball, grab a shield, and then they can bring in Shadow Victory Bell. I will be able to get a shield back here with the Rock Slide, but this is still not a great spot to be in, as we hard lost the lead and we weren't able to flip switch. I'm going to bring in Meganium, and I'm going to go for the Frenzy Plant. My plan is to undercharge this Frenzy Plant and hopefully be able to commit to the farm down. I am able to undercharge. They're going to be able to reach a move. So long as they don't have Sludge Bomb, I should be able to tank it, and it's just an Acid Spray. I am going to be able to Vine Whip down, and I leave very close to a move. They have Marowak in the back, and I'm not able to reach the Earthquake. The defense drop from Acid Spray means I'm not able to reach a move. Marowak goes for the Shadow Bone. That does big damage onto Tyrantrum. I'm trying for the farm down, and they're able to reach yet another move. And at this point, this is looking like game over. Aurorus able to farm me down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the final match, leading Meganium into Unova Stunfisk, the Dream lead. Opponent immediately save switches into Mandibuzz, and I respond with my Rock Throw Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum is able to output a lot of fast move pressure in this matchup. They go for the foul play, we tank it, and Tyrantrum is going to be able to reach the Stone Edge. This will easily KO if they decide to let it through. Stone Edge does get the shield. Mandibuzz looking to try and make a play for switch, but I do not want to let that happen. So I'm going to commit the shield on the foul play. Tyrantrum able to farm down the Mandibuzz, and we're able to keep switch. The bad news is that this sets up Unova Stunfisk for a massive farm, as even though I'm going to be able to reach the Crunch, they don't have to shield a thing here, and they're going to be able to leave with a ton of energy. Thankfully, Unova Stunfisk energy isn't particularly useful against my Meganium, since I do resist every possible charge move that it has. They go for the Mud Bomb, that does basically nothing, and in the back is Greedent, and we should be in a very good spot here. Shadow Aerodactyl should be able to output a lot of damage onto this Greedent, and whatever I can't take out with the Aerodactyl, Meganium should be able to clean up in the back. I'm going to let this through, just another Body Slam, and I'm able to reach the Rock Slide, and this will be grabbing the final shield off of Greedent. Rock Slide does get the shield. Greedent looking for the farm down. They're able to get it, but Meganium is going to be able to reach the Frenzy Plant. I decide to commit the shield. This is the only neutral move they have left, and we're able to undertap the Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant is going to be taking care of the Greedent, and now back in comes Unova Stunfisk. Unova Stunfisk still trying to play this out and get the win, but they're just not going to be able to output nearly enough damage. Meganium able to reach the Frenzy Plant, and Frenzy Plant is going to be taking care of the Unova Stunfisk, and that is a good game. All in all, I had a ton of fun running Team Dinosaur, especially the back two Pokemon, Shadow Aerodactyl and Rock Throw Tyrantrum, proved to be really fun to use in the Great League Remix meta, as a lot of teams weren't really prepared for Double Rock, and the Rock Throw users were definitely able to take advantage. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.